I don't know about you, but I go garbage hunting a lot. One thing I find a lot of are Allen keys. And with Allen keys, you can cut them and use them in a chuck, and they hold whatever real good. A little bit of epoxy and a piece of wood, you can make a lot of things for the drill press.
I don't like breathing metal, or I don't like metal in my face and skin.
So I usually wear a long sleeve shirt, a face mask, and a dust mask, and not just a. I don't use the little paper white ones. Invest in one of these. Well worth it. Big difference. And we're going to cut with the grinder. We'll cut off the end of the Allen key.
An angle grinder, some gloves, all set. Let's do this!
While you've got it in the vise, just grab yourself a file real quick, soften the edges. Setting up the drill press, and I got thinking, if you don't have an angle grinder, it doesn't take long and it's not hard, just using a hacksaw. If you don't have one, they're only like 10 bucks. You can probably get it cheaper somewhere. They're not an expensive or complicated tool. Okay, so I just have a size hole thing here, and this is just different holes with different sizes beside them. And you can try fitting it in them until you find the one that fits in. So this one here it'll go into just. So I'm going to go back one in this case, and now it's too tight. I have to force that in. That's the tightness I want. I'm not going to force it in this hole. I don't want to disturb the size of this hole. But that's the size of drill bit I want to glue this in a nice snug fit. And because of its shape as being a hex key, you have that extra grip inside for turning strength. So in this case, we're at 1/4 inch is the size we need. So I'll change the bit up. Just a little tip. I forget where I've seen this, but I got a pack of earth magnets, and I just put them on the side of my metal tools. And things like the chuck can attach to your tool. Strong little magnet, and I can hold anything metal to my metal tools. When I put them on, I always put my hand around it now and move it with my thumb for my torque. And the reason is because I did it this way before and it slipped off, and I cut my thumb open real bad and still have a numb feeling up on the top of my thumb. These things can cut bad. You don't always think about it. The bigger they are, the bigger the cuts. Be careful with these. I paid the price. Grab anything round in a dowel shape, it'll do if you're in a pinch. Get a dowel if you can. Okay, so I need these drum pieces to fit the entire segmented piece. I need it to fit and work. I need to be able to sand that much area at once. So first I measured it off to where it is and gave myself an extra 1/2 inch about, and that'll just give me a little bit of overhang for a little bit of movement. push it with 245s, hug the circle, and you just turn it. Try and even out the triangles as much as you can by eye, and you get yourself center. You don't want a drill bit to wander, so we're going to use a little punch here. I put it directly on the center part. Give it a little tap. Got ourselves a hole dead center. Okay, let's glue that up. I use the tip, I gather lots of glue on it and roll the glue in, so that try and avoid it being on the top as much as possible, and wipe it off on the side on the way up. Just push it down with the tip. Get lots of glue in there. Go ahead, here's the end I filed. I want that end sticking up because it's soft now. Take a piece of crap wood. Hammer that in nice. So I take my sandpaper, and if it's a rough segmented piece, then 40 grit is good. Okay, so you need your sandpaper. I recommend making yourself a little board, cutting board. Simple, flat board with a hacksaw blade. I made a video. Go watch, I'll put the link here. Go ahead and watch that if you haven't seen it. It's pretty good. So what we need to do, what this does, you'll see it work, is we need to cut this to a length for this. Because we're going to need to figure out what that length is. Okay, so there, it's about there. I'm going to pull it back, and give it a little extra. I'll show you why. Whoa! That's funny. Okay, so you're going to unroll it. Watch your piece doesn't go rolling away. And just square it up as by eye as much as you can. Just put a little mark there. Actually, hold down. Got our sheet. This is the only reason you want to have your cutting board to be square. And I cut a hole in it to hang it off a nail. It's out of the way. Okay, so slice it off nice and easy. Make yourself one of these jigs. Trust me, every time you use it, like even right there, just glad I made it. A little coat of glue on, spray glue. Let them sit there for a minute. So we're just letting that turn into tack, which it has. So we're going to go ahead and roll it on. Line it up as straight as you can. Keep an even roll. And just this is terrible for your scissors, actually. Because it's terrible for my scissors, whenever I say something's terrible for a tool, find another tool. Use a disposable blade here. because I'm cutting sandpaper, 40 grit sandpaper. Next time I'll cut it with the sandpaper slicer, but I was thinking on upkeep of the drum, and it's just, you know, putting glue on it, gluing sandpaper on, and then taking it off. I think it's as simple as just giving it a light sand down to get off any dried remaining of glue, and put your next piece of sandpaper on. Other than that, very happy with it. It's works really well, and it's going to come in handy for a lot of things.